Not sure what the hell you were doing a minute before that. I mean, Bonte did not seem to dig it when I was like, dude, that's J.R. Smith level. And I'm like, no, that's J.R. Smith level awareness. You're up 2, and you get a lucky bounce so that you can reset a shot clock with less than a minute to go. First of all, the only way you would shoot in that moment is if you're underneath the hoop by yourself. That is not a time to shoot at all from anywhere, let alone 5 paces in from half court. What are you doing? And that's why Steph's clapping, dude, give me the ball. And then look what it leads to. So it's hard for me to say, like, it's Jordan Poole's fault that Steph Curry threw a mouthpiece, but let me try.
It's not. It's really not.
Jordan Poole's fault.
It's really not.
It is.
That's not.
Well,
that's for you to go from that.
You know what I'm saying.
That.
No, you know what I'm saying.
What you're saying is it's Jordan Poole's fault that Steph Curry got ejected, I won't allow that.
He didn't pull the trigger, but he gave him the weapon. I mean, like.
So if you cut me off in traffic, and then the next person who cuts me off in traffic, I decide to ram my vehicle into the back of their car.
This is basketball.
It's the first person's fault?
No, and this is basketball, so it's different than that. And Steph Curry did not ram his car into someone else. He, in frustration, threw a tiny little plastic object.
Completely laden with possibly viral saliva?
Exactly.
We don't know what's in that.
A COVID-lace mouthpiece.
First of all, Jordan Poole was not 2 steps inside a half court. I said 5. And they're large paces. They're very large men.
I'm
looking at the still right now, and the shot that he took is a 29-footer.
It's a ridiculous shot.
Steph Curry is clapping from 40 feet. Now, this is not to say that Steph wanted to catch and shoot from 40.
No, he wanted to restart the offense. I completely
defend Steph Curry for wanting the ball in this time, because when you get an offensive rebound, we know that the shot clock gets reset to 14 seconds. So Jordan Poole didn't have to shoot this ball in this moment. And by the way, I'm looking at it still right now.
Yeah.
It's a guarded 29-footer.
It's a ridiculous shot.
He was not wide open walking into it.
No, yes.
But for you to say that for you to intimate.
I'm a little tongue-in-cheek. But only a little. Like, let's not say that Jordan didn't have a role here. Yes, you are in charge of your own reactions.
Right, and your own mouthpiece.
Yes, and so Steph Curry cannot do that. And yes, it's against the rule. And at a minimum, even if we don't like the rule and we don't like the context, at a minimum, as a professional, you need to know that you're opening yourself up to something like that if you do that. So yes, it's on Steph. I'm sort of kidding. But I also understand the emotions of high-level sport, and that's something that I think gets lost in these conversations a lot, especially when we start talking about technical fouls. We're acting like professional athletes should just be able to, at all times, totally be emotionless, which is absurd. It's not possible to be like that in these situations. So did Jordan Poole have the first act that brought the emotion to the scene? Yeah. It was a ridiculous decision. A J.R. Smith level of awareness.
Not J.R. Smith
level.
It is. J.R. Smith dribbled out in the NBA Finals in a spot where
he didn't know the score.
Had an offensive rebound and he didn't know the score. Jordan Poole knew the score.
Did he? Because if you knew the score, there's no way you'd shoot.
You're Jordan Poole, and this is what all of you Jordan Poole stans have to tolerate when it comes to Jordan Poole, because Jordan Poole thinks in terms of Jordan Poole, and he gets the ball back, and he's thinking, this is a shot I can make. I'm going to try to make this shot. Well, but he's not thinking about the fact that Steph Curry is 8 paces to his left.
Right, but this isn't CYO. This is the Warriors.
This is not J.R. Smith.
But you don't get to.
This is a meaningless game in January.
It's not meaningless. We can't call it meaningless. Well, hang on. If we're going to sit here and have a panic meter.
Oh, I'm already panicked. Yeah.
We can't call it meaningless. My point is, you don't get to think like that if you're Jordan Poole. This is the Golden State Warriors, and this is the National Basketball Association.
Right.
People are paying thousands of dollars to be there. You can't get the ball in your hands. How much time's left? How much time's left?
There is a minute 39, no, minute 18 when he shoots it.
You can take the clock down to almost 50 seconds.
No, because
with
the shot
lead.
clock's at 14.
Okay, fine. You can take it down to a minute. You can take it down to a minute.
Minute 4.
And, by the way, get a better shot with a lead. The ball bounces to you 30 feet away. And
29.
And you're telling me that that's not lacking awareness at a high level to shoot that?
I'm not defending the shot.
It's a terrible shot.
I'm not defending the shot. It's a terrible shot, and this is why I've been critical of Jordan Poole, because he doesn't play with much maturity or much awareness in many moments. And this is not my way of dismissing what Steph Curry did, because if it was Draymond Green would not have passive-aggressively thrown his mouthpiece toward the crowd. He would have confronted Jordan Poole. And Steph Curry, as a leader, if you really want to exert your frustration, go to Jordan Poole.
You don't have time to do that in that moment. You got to play defense.
So you do have time to run down to the baseline and
do you know what's so funny? Listen, I'm mad at
Jordan, so I'm going to throw my mouthpiece at the crowd.
I'm not going to try to come down your road, but can I tell you something that I do find? I find it fascinating, talking specifically to you, my partner, my friend, my brother.
To me, my brother.
I find it fascinating how often you won't defend people for having emotional reactions. My man.
No,
you and I do this.
I will defend emotional reactions, but appropriate emotional reactions. When you throw your mouthpiece in the crowd, you know what you're going to get.
He threw it onto a sliding floor, and it rolled into the crowd, and we're going to make it sound like he punched somebody. It's not that you are going to have emotional reactions in the moment in professional sports when stuff that really angers you happens. And that shot really angered Steph Curry, and I was sitting next to him going, that angered me too.
It angered me.
And I wasn't even there, and I'm not on the team.
It angered me, and the camera obviously didn't pan all the way to show you what Steph Curry did, because they're following the action, and then you see everyone stop and look.
Right.
And Steph Curry's been ejected, and only then do you get the reverse angle, and you see what happened, and it's like, dummy, what are you doing? Yes, I'm not saying that these athletes can't have emotional reactions. I'm not expecting them to be automatons. But for example, if I was going to have an emotional reaction talking to you, an emotional reaction of leaving the studio would be better than me, grabbing the console and throwing it across the room.
Well, okay. Again, I don't think that's what Steph did. Here's where I'll agree with you. It left him open to getting thrown out of the game. But if we're going to talk about the two errors, one is Steph Curry throwing the mouthpiece. The other is Jordan Poole's shot. Which is a more egregious error? There's no question to me.
Steph Curry.
Oh, gosh, no, it's Jordan Poole.
It's Steph Curry. Poole. Jordan Poole took a bad shot.
Yes.
Steph Curry's the best player on the planet, and he got thrown out because he threw his mouthpiece.
He rolled a mouthpiece on the ground, and it slid.
If Jordan Poole doesn't break open and win the game for the Warriors, if they go to overtime and lose, Steph Curry is the GOAT.
No, I disagree. I think no.
I don't think so.
Jordan Poole would be the one with egg on his face in that particular situation. Let's hear from you. 888-957-9570. Yeah, Kyle, what's up?
Are we going to blame the professional basketball player for shooting the basketball, or the 34-year-old man for throwing something and having a temper tantrum on the court?
This is not a temper tantrum. And it's fascinating to me how many of you I know so personally.
What was it then?
All of you who have emotionally reacted worse than that to situations that are way less emotional, you keep coming down Steph's road for grabbing something in the moment and rolling it on the ground. You guys are making it sound
on the ground is dramatically underselling.
No, he threw it down. He threw it down. If this was a baseball field or a football field, it wouldn't have gone anywhere. It would have stopped in the grass. But it's the NBA, so it slides into stands, hits somebody in the foot, and he gets thrown out. And you guys, self-included, we have all had worse emotional reactions to things way less than this. And you guys are making it sound like he's acting like a child.
But that's not a child when I throw a temper tantrum.
Right, because we don't live in their world. Like, this is not a temper tantrum.
What is it?
It's an emotional reaction to an emotional moment.
What's the difference? What's the difference between emotional reaction and temper tantrum? The difference is in the punishment that ensues.
A temper tantrum is something that is drawn out and completely overdone. This was neither of those things. This was, damn it, Jordan, boom. Like, I mean, I've watched all of us do that with a remote control when we don't like Kyle Shanahan's play call. It's not a big deal. Now, it ended up being a big deal because it breaks a letter of the law rule, but let's not call Steph immature because he did it. It's a mistake, but I understand that way more than I understand what was going through Jordan's head when he cocked and shot that thing.
Not me.
What on earth was he thinking?
He was thinking, ball comes to me, I'm open, I'm Jordan Poole. You don't know Jordan Poole. If I hit this 3, now we're up 5, and this is what I do. It's a pool party. It's money time. You all have given him license to be Jordan Poole. So you can't then say, Jordan, don't be Jordan in this moment.
Who gave him the license to do that?
Everybody wants Jordan Poole to play free and fast and loose. I'm not defending the shot because it was a brain dead moment in terms of game time. You got the lead. Go ahead and kick it out. Let's work for a better shot. I get that. But for Steph Curry to then run down the court and get mad at Jordan and throw his mouthpiece, be more like Draymond. You think Draymond would have thrown his mouthpiece?
I think Draymond.
You admire Draymond Green so much.
I think
Draymond would have gone over to Jordan Poole, and who knows what he would have done.
Draymond would have gotten Jordan to leave as a free agent. That's what he would have done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Steph got bailed out by Jordan Poole. He should be sending Jordan Poole flowers.
Free and fast and loose has nothing to do with a horrible shot in a big moment.
It's a bad shot.
Nothing to do with that.
It was a brain dead moment. It was a bad shot.
You ref CYO, and I bet I would, if I were you, I would expect 10-year-olds to know not to take that shot.
Well, we don't have a shot clock, so.
But still.
And actually,
run the like what?
I've got 9 games this weekend, and on behalf of all the 9 and 10-year-olds, I'll officiate. They don't have that awareness, and I've seen games already this year where
a
team is up. A team might be up 8-7.
Poorly coached then.
8-7 with 18 seconds left, and you got kids hoisting.
My team not shooting that shot.
Yeah,
my team not shooting that shot.
You should not impugn 9 and 10-year-olds.
And if they did, they're 9 and 10-year-olds.
Jordan Poole should not have taken that shot.
Right.
But to make 2 wrongs don't make a right. So Jordan Poole takes a bad shot, and Steph Curry, the leader of the team, is going to trudge down court, and he's so mad.
Oh, the guy.
He's so mad, exactly. Mark.
I love that.
I'm going to take my mouthpiece out, and I'm going to hurl it into the crowd.
If this wasn't Steph, none of you would be saying this. Like, we can't give Steph this. Steph got mad, for the 3rd time in his life.
Fine.
You know what?
It's indefensible, and for you to defend it is a bad look on you.
I'm not defending it. I'm telling you which is the more ridiculous thing to do as a professional basketball player who makes millions of dollars. There's no question which is more understandable. It's Steph
I categorically disagree with you.
No, that's fine. I mean,
basketball player making a basketball play, a bad one, versus grown man
having a human moment. Yeah.
That's not a human moment.
Of course it is. And
How many times have you thrown your mouthpiece?
How many times have you thrown your remote and you're not even there?
Never.
Stop it.
Those remotes are precious. Yes. I'm not a remote thrower.
But you're emotionally always completely under control.
No, not at all.
So this is human.
How many times have I been thrown out of this show for my emotions?
Not as many as you should.
Yeah, there it is.